Robert Woods in motion at the snap. They run it right side. Malcolm Brown. Oh, what a hole. He charges into the end zone with a touchdown. Hurdled the line of scrimmage and found the paint.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Coach Speak presented by Samsung QLED, where Coach Sean McVay is going to break down last week's game and we're going to turn the page to Tampa. But let's first start in Seattle, Coach. Huge victory. You guys have now won 5 of 6 games against the Seahawks, but this one was important. Take us through the victory and what really stood out for you.
Yeah, you say Coach Speak, I say Schrager and Sean. However
That's
you want
good.
to look
I
at
like
it.
it.
But it was a big win, Peter. And I think, the thing that we knew is we knew what a great team this was coming in. Tremendous amount of respect for Coach Carroll, his staff, their players. They've always done such a great job responding after tough adversities. And the Buffalo game, they were going to be ready to roll, and they definitely were. But thought our guys answered the bell. Defensively, was just so pleased with them from the jump. So many different guys that contributed. Our coaching staff, our players ultimately executing. I like the way we came out offensively. But to come away with the win was big. We needed it. Staying 4-0 and undefeated at home. And now, like you said, we'll flip the page and get ready for an excellent Bucs team coming up on Monday night this week.
Yeah, the defense has been outstanding. Talk about Brandon Staley's unit and what you're getting from those players as well as the coaching staff.
Yeah, you talked about it, Peter, like some of the second half adjustments for us to be able to do the things that our defensive staff has done, and then just to be able to settle the players in, be able to kind of identify, adjust, or continue to just stick with the plan that we had set out has been a winning edge for us. You just look at it, and now you're saying you play against one of the elite offenses. This is arguably the best offense in the league with the production they've had, with the way Russell's playing, the weapons with Lockett and Metcalf. It was a really complete performance. So many different contributors. But I just thought the way that the game started, I just love the way we settled in. We're a very steady, even-keeled operation, and I think that's a reflection of the players and the coaches, and I'm just very pleased with them. They definitely did an outstanding job. To get 3 turnovers yesterday was instrumental. We knew that was going to be one of the key factors in winning this football game. For us to win the turnover battle 3-1, I thought was a big reason why we were able to come away with the dub. But they've been great. They've really carried the torch, and I've been so pleased with them. And now let's see if we can do it again this week.
You mentioned the 3 turnovers. 2 of them came from interceptions from Darius Williams, who is not a national household name, but very quietly and very steadily is becoming one. Tell us who Darius Williams is and what you're getting from this guy week after week, because I think the rest of the country is about to find out.
Yeah, he's made plays all year. If you really think about it, you talk about the 4 picks that he's made this year, Peter, just showing up in crunch time and clutch situations. Going back to the Eagles game in week 2, we're up 21-16. They're going in to take the lead. He makes an unbelievable pick, diving right in front of it in the end zone. He makes a pick to close the game out against the Giants. And then yesterday, we turned the ball over. He ends up making a phenomenal pick on Russell Wilson where he throws back across his body. And then the pick that he made on the speed out yesterday where Russell Wilson threw a great ball to Greg Olsen. You talk about being able to concept trigger, make a great play on it. Those have been igniter-type plays. One of my favorite parts is you got an all-world player in Jalen Ramsey, and one of the first things he's saying in his post-game press conference is, all right, I think it's time that Darius Williams starts getting his recognition, and that's just a cool reflection of the kind of team that we have, a bunch of selfless guys, but this guy's been big, and he shows up in a big way, and I think he's always had that confidence and swagger, even going back to, I remember he'd ruin a lot of the practices based on being able to defend our receivers with the look team a couple years ago, and he sure has done an outstanding job.
It's funny, we have this DK Metcalf, Jalen Ramsey battle, and all week everyone in the media is hyping it up, and Jalen played it coy, you guys played it coy, and of course we saw what happened. 2 catches, 28 yards. I'm not here to do a parade over that. But the fact that Jalen Ramsey isn't necessarily talking smack, the fact that he showed his respect before and after the game for Metcalf, that's not who I remember covering when he was with Jacksonville. Is this a different Jalen Ramsey, or is this just maybe we misinterpreted him all along?
I think so. He's the guy that I've known. There's a confidence, there's a swagger, but there's a respect for his opponents. And, he's a great competitor, and he respects other great competitors. And I know he had a tremendous amount of respect, really, for their receiving core as a whole going into this game. But he did what we expected him to do. But we know we've got to see them again as well. And, you talk about getting excited as a competitor for great challenges. Our guys bring it every single week. But you knew that, this was arguably one of the most dynamic duos when you look at the production Metcalf and Lockett had. And now kind of the same theme as you move towards an unbelievable receiving group this week with the production that Evans, Godwin, and you end up throwing in AB into the mix, it's going to be a great challenge.
I like the running attack. I felt like this was the first week that we saw the three-headed running attack with all three guys playing a role. Take us through that dynamic and how you kind of decide as an offensive coach who gets the rock and when they're going to get the ball.
Yeah, really, it's a reflection of Thomas Brown, our running back coach, Peter. He's a guy that I just think is a star in this, profession. He's got a great command, and I have total trust and confidence in him. And, he had a good rhythm and a routine that he felt like going into the game would reflect itself in a way of getting all three guys involved. So I kind of just let him run that operation, and it was definitely reflected in getting all three guys going, like you mentioned. Malcolm, I thought Cam did a great job having some tough, hard-earned runs. You could really see him get his feet underneath him. Darryl has been steady and continued to produce. So that was the formula, and that was the production that we're looking for out of that group. And big credit to Coach Brown leading the way.
We're going to be monitoring Andrew Whitworth's status over the next couple of days, and we know what he brings on the field. I also know what an important piece to the team he is off the field, and particularly to you. I mean, he's older than you. He is your senior, and you hear that all the time. But you guys obviously have a strong relationship. Do you have a good Andrew Whitworth story that doesn't involve football that maybe exemplifies who he is off the field?
I just think, he the more that I get to know him, and he's been a huge influence on my life. He's a close friend. It's really been a pretty special thing to be able to have the rapport and the relationship that we have with him being older, but we're in a similar place in life. But we both, there's never that blurred line between the player and the coach. But I think it's just the empathy that this guy exudes day in and day out. I just continue to come away impressed with he's always thinking of others. Naturally as human beings, most people are selfish, and he's naturally selfless. His empathy that he just kind of exudes by the way he interacts with, whether it's his teammates, anybody he engages with, it's something that I'm a better person for being around him. And, the thing I would say, Peter, is he's got an injury. It's going to be something that he's going to be out for, an elongated period of time. Is that 4 weeks? Is that 6 weeks? I don't know. But fortunately, it doesn't mean that his season is over. But the first thing he says when I call him after the game is, I'm excited about the opportunity to lead from a different lens. And, who thinks of it like that? Just the perspective and the way that he's able to just turn any sort of situation into, setbacks or just setups for comebacks, or really being able to see it from a positive mindset and mentality. I love this guy. He's everything that's right about the Rams, and we're going to miss his play on the field, but I can promise you he's going to find a way to influence and affect this football team and help Joe Noteboom step up and do a great job in his absence.
Yeah, and the offensive line did step up on Sunday when they needed to. Hopefully they can carry that off over to next week when you play Tampa, which is a good segue. Brady, Brown, Gronk, Godwin, Evans, they're an all-star team on paper. You guys come in with the best defense in the league. It's going to be a battle. Take us through how you even see the initial game plan developing on what this clash will be, Rams versus Buccaneers.
Yeah, and you forget, you look at Fournette and Jones. I mean, those guys are running the football. They're big. They are a big offensive operation. They get opportunities to take shots down the field. They're committed to running the football with a physical downhill demeanor, and it's going to be a great challenge. We're just diving into the early parts of our game plan, but one of the things I love about this group is they just kind of reset every single week. They look forward to digesting the plan. We really try to stress them throughout the course of the week, and then let's go let it all hang out and play with a fearless mindset and mentality against a great team. And what it is it's an op, and we look at it as we're going to attack every single op we get, and kind of as these games get increasingly more important, that pressure's a privilege, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
I love it. 12 years ago, you started your NFL journey as an offensive assistant with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Going back there as a head coach of an NFL team, going in there and facing Tom Brady in his building now. Take us back to 2008. Any particular memory of your first day or maybe your first game stepping out of that tunnel and being an NFL coach?
Yeah, I think I didn't realize, I didn't know anything then. I didn't know what the heck was going on. I was just I was a fan there, just happy to be there. You go up into the box, you chart some plays, you don't know what you're looking at, and you're just come away impressed with the opportunity that you do have. But when I reflect back on the experience with what Coach Gruden meant to me, the amazing coaches I was around, how the players treated me, one of the things I'll always remember is the way I was treated by Joey Galloway, Ike Hilliard, Antonio Brown. Those things meant a lot. And then, to be able to get your feet wet around some of those great coaches was amazing. But I think what you also realize is how little you knew. You know, I remember Coach Gruden asking me to get up on the board and draw a standard run play where, it's a power play where a backside guard pulls and you get some double teams at the point of attack on the front side. And I didn't even know a backside guard's pulling on a power play. I'm thinking I got all these answers and, I didn't know anything then. But it's going to be fun. I was only there for a very short amount of time, but just the opportunity to go play against a great organization and a great team is something that we're excited about, and we're going to go attack an opportunity to go win.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck this week. That was Coach Speak, presented by Samsung QLED.
Schrags and Sean, I like that better.